If you're looking for something to do either for fun or especially if you're hoping to make maybe some extra money, doing song covers is a pretty good option. Making covers is a broad topic, but I will try to do my best to provide details or at least some good starting points in this video. So if you're looking to record your very own version of classic songs like Simon & Garfunkel's Sound of Silence, or even more contemporary hits like Benson Boone's Beautiful Things, well, today's video is for you. So let's get started. Here is a list of the 12 steps that I've come up to cover this topic. You can find a link to this list in the description below, along with a list of software and websites I use to build my projects. Step number 1 is quite obvious. You obviously need to pick a song to cover. Consider your desired niche or your target audience: rock, pop, country, hip-hop, etc. This is important because YouTube will be looking to find an identity for you. What I do is think of a song in my own niche, classic rock songs from the 60s through the 90s, and search for it on YouTube. Once I find what I want, I download and save this song using a tool called 4K Video Downloader. I like this approach because ultimately I end up with all of the tracks that make up the published song. Don't worry if you cannot quite sing the song in the key it was created. In a separate how-to, I can show you how to make the song fit your voice. Step number 2 is where we identify the pitch and tempo of the song. This information is needed for building your project in your DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. I use GarageBand for my DAW on our Mac, but you can of course use other tools like Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton Live, and PreSonus Studio One. To identify the pitch and tempo, I use a website called VocalRemover.org pitch. As you can see in this site, you can change the pitch of the song with this tool. As I already mentioned, that is a whole additional how-to video. Whatever you do in the VocalRemover site should be saved where you can find it on your computer. Step number 3 is where I spent some time learning the song, both the instrumental portion and the lyrics. As usual, YouTube and Google are your friends. In the description, I note some of my favorite places to look. In step number 4, I separate the stems in my song into the individual tracks. I can use a different part of the VocalRemover site I've already shown you to split the tracks, but I have found the moises.ai site is much more powerful and versatile. Unlike VocalRemover, Moises is not a free tool, but it is really not a big expense. Typically, I save all of the song tracks that may be of value to me in my project. The music, the vocals, the bass, the drums, other instruments, strings, etc. In step number 5, I create a new project in my DAW, GarageBand, using the pitch and tempo I learned in step number 2. In step number 6, I import the song and individual tracks into the new project. I also add some additional tracks for my own vocals and for my instruments. In step number 7, I record the vocals and the instruments. Ideally, I would record these at the same time, but I have found that it works best if I record them separately and then in essence lip sync my own music in my video recordings. Is this cheating? Well, until I can find a way to do a live recording without cross-mixing and other unwanted effects, this is my approach. For simple cover songs, I can record my vocals, guitar, and in my case, keys. I've done covers where I've created additional instruments on my Yamaha keyboard, including the bass guitar and the horns. However, I often use the bass and drums from the original song unless I'm really trying to get original. Step number 8 is where I mix and master my draft project. Mixing and mastering is an art and science all its own, so I will leave you to check out my many tutorials on the internet to help with this step. I'm not offering a separate how-to project for this because, quite frankly, I am far from ready to teach someone to do something that I still do not understand myself. I suggest checking out the links in my description for this. Step number 9 is where we record our video. I have to admit I'm pretty pleased with the results I get with my iPhone video recorder. I use the camera remote feature on my Apple Watch to start and stop the recording, and I can simply play back my GarageBand project to provide my music and vocals. I may end up with multiple videos if I'm trying to provide different performance angles or provide separate videos for guitar and keyboard. Step number 10 is where I edit my videos. I use iMovie on my Mac to do this, but there are many options out there to get this job done, including things like CapCut. In step number 11, I take all of my music and all my video work and put it together for production using a web tool called ClipChamp. This tool is quite intuitive and becomes easy to use once you get started. Step number 12 is really a lot more than just one activity. Way back at the beginning of this how-to, I maybe should have mentioned that you need 4 main things to publish to YouTube. You need a good music project, a good title, a good thumbnail, and a good description. I have addressed how to build a good music project. Making good titles, thumbnails, and descriptions is a really bigger job. As before, I will point you to my description for resources for all of these. I also should mention things like adding tags and chapters and subtitles and end cards to your YouTube project. Wow. Now you maybe have a hint why I did not put the word easy in my title. As you can see, making song covers is not a snap of the fingers. Though I have tried to provide you with some good details, you will have some work to do. I do hope, though, that I've helped you really reduce your learning curve. With more than 80 songs under my belt, I have come a long way, but I still have more to learn. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned something. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in my next video.